What's up everyone, welcome back to our lawn. So I'm back here on the putting green, which again, calling it a putting green is generous. But what I'm gonna do today is it is really starting to look nice. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna make it look way worse again. So I will take a little minute here to show you a couple things, kind of just walk you around, show you the couple spots that are scalping and why we need to bring in a little bit of sand and start top dressing this and get it as smooth as we can. So with that, let's take a look. I'm gonna cut it and then we'll bring some sand back here. So just looking at it, it's really starting to come in and look pretty nice. And there's some areas in through here that are really starting to look good. So that I do need to cut it. I mean, there's some weeds in here. It's not gonna be perfect for a long time, but like I said, we're scalping a little bit there and through here. And again, that's because there's big holes in most spots right there. So I got a couple bags of sand. It's probably not gonna be enough, but I'm gonna be able to hit a couple spots throughout and just get a light layer down. And then really top dressing a putting green is a ongoing, probably at least monthly thing where you're just putting thin layers of sand down constantly. So we can just keep picking away at it little by little, but this is gonna be the first one. And this is also the first time that I've ever top dressed with sand. So there are the tools we're gonna be using. Let me grab just a couple bags of actually play sand. Now, so this is actually not recommended to use play sand. Everywhere you can go look is going to tell you to use masonry sand, but all I did last night was go to a Home Depot and the options were all-purpose sand, which looked really rocky, a medium sand, which looked really, really fine, and then play sand, which seemed to be kind of a nice intermediate between both of those. So that's what we're going to do. Now I'm going to mention here as well, this is not going to be a how-to. I am going to talk about the steps that I'm doing and show you what I did. But this isn't going to be a comprehensive how-to. If you want that, Lawn Tools, Connor Ward, Ryan Knorr, Budget Lawns did a 4-part series on this. And I'm sure there are a ton of other people that have done this kind of content. You can go check any or all of them out and get a good idea of what we're trying to do, or how to go about what we're trying to do. And what we're trying to do is make this smoother so that when we cut it, we can cut it shorter, and it's going to be flatter and we're not going to have any scalping issues. So with that, I have already now cut the putting green, so it's ready to go. So there we go. I'm gonna probably make one more trip to Home Depot, get another, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 bags at this time, and just come back and do it the best that I can. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna water this. I'll let the water help the sand soak down into the canopy of the turf. Try to get as much of it to be able to see daylight as possible that'll help it. And then on a list of reasons why this is definitely not how they recommend it, I'm actually going to be gone for a 4-day weekend where I'm not going to be able to water it, and it's going to be very hot. So we'll see how it does. Maybe it'll just cook it and we got to start over and seed anyway, but I'm not that mad about that either. So let's just see what happens. This, much like everything on my channel, we're going to experiment with some rough knowledge of what we're supposed to do, and then we're going to see what we can get away with here in our lawn. so ignore my kids in the background. They helped, and there's my first sand top dress that I've ever done. We went really thin because I want this to recover, and I want to just keep doing top dress after top dress. Basically let it recover, do it again, let it recover, do it again until we get to a good place. So I did that, and then you can see I put a lot of Milo on there. So hopefully we can get some nitrogen down in there as well. Hopefully get a couple waterings on it over the weekend with my mother-in-law staying here. We're going to be out of town. And then hopefully when we come back after a pretty warm weekend, it's not dead. So after water behind me, you can see it already looks quite a bit better than it did, honestly, even since we scalped it. So I'm just trying to do really thin layers of sand. You can see what that's looking like. And then once it recovers, we'll do it again and again and again until we're dead flat. So just gave it a really good deep soak here with the hose, ran it for, with the sprinkler, ran it for about an hour. And you can see already how much that sand has settled down in there nicely. Again, we did a very thin layer. And now we just hope. It's a hot, dry weekend. We're gone, we're not gonna be watering it. And we'll just see where it comes back to. And I can say there was a massive difference in terms of smoothness because I cut this morning. So going from hopping along on the rest of the yard and then getting onto the sand top dressed part, huge difference. It just smoothed right out. So that's only one. We're gonna do a couple of those and it's gonna be awesome. Since I'm out here, this is day 5 after the sand leveling. We can give you can see right behind me a little update on what it is now looking like, how it's recovering. It's coming pretty nicely. It survived a weekend where it was in the 90s, not being watered at all after I put the sand on top of it. Again, we did a really thin layer just to make sure that it's all going to come back through, and then we can just do that again and again and again once it recovers. And then once it recovers, we can just do it again and again and again, and we'll have a smooth surface here to be ready if we ever get something that's capable of cutting short enough to have a proper putting green in the backyard. So thanks for watching. See you next time.